Hey Scott, man, what's up, dude? Just trying to plan my flight now, man. I'm gonna test out X-Enviro. I got it today, and I bought the Epic E1000 because, like I said, I was gonna do like a couple weeks ago. 'Cause I needed a turboprop, so I think I'm gonna take off from Beaufort. Test this out. Let's go over here to Beaufort, which is KMRH, Kilo Mike Romeo Hotel. Oh, might learn how to spell. I'm a poet. Romeo Hotel. I hope this is a. Oh, it's stormy. Huh. So yeah, I got the Epic E1000, which is the Aerobass turboprop. I was thinking about getting the Viper jet as well, but I haven't really flown it at all. Really haven't messed around with X-Enviro either, so we'll just. I'm not really familiar with X-Enviro, so even though I purchased it. So evidently it's stormy in Beaufort. It's on the coast, right off the Cape Fear River in North Carolina. So, and it's all going to be Ortho 4XP scenery, and I need to actually get my throttle and my joystick up here. So, I did start the E1000 earlier and kind of hot started it. So I'm just going to try not to hot start it this time. Yeah, I think X-Enviro is cool, man. But I don't. I'm still not sure it's worth that price, that premium price, man. Yeah, X-Plane's always gonna have problems, man. They just need to get off the OpenGL kick, man. Just go ahead and start working on the Vulkan version. I was trying to explain that to Mo the other day, man. Just OpenGL, it requires the drivers to render the graphics, and Vulkan, and that's the huge thing that makes DirectX and Vulkan so much better. They don't require any of that. They don't require, you don't have that bottleneck of the driver. It's just OpenGL was awesome because it was multi-platform, man. You could do it on Windows. You could do it on. You could use OpenGL on Windows, Linux, Mac. All those supported it. But now Vulkan is supported by all those platforms. It's multi-platform. So OpenGL, man, it just needs to die. Like Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer needed it to die. So, and when we got Edge, I like Edge a lot better. Uh, so yeah, here's X-Enviro. See what kind of frames we're gonna get with it on here. It's still loading up. Yeah, man, I was told my brother, dude. Because he's got the i7 7700, and they've been having problems. Well, that's He has the i7 7700. They've had problems with it. Be careful with your computer, man. Yeah, you don't look like his. So. Yeah, I don't want to hot start this thing. Hot start this thing again, so. yeah, you can't hear me over the rain, can you? Hey, Wayne, what's up, dude? You hear me now, Scott? Can't turn it up because the rain is just vicious. Close the door. You still can't hear me? How about now? Yeah, I'm trying to adjust my mic. I've got the mic turned all the way up on OBS. It's probably the rain that you can't hear me. Let's see. Okay, that's better. I just had to adjust the desktop audio and the mic audio. So yeah, I went out and bought your plane, Luna. I finally bought the E1000. I needed a turboprop. So. Hey Derek, how's it going, man? So I bought me a little E1000 turboprop. X-Enviro is on too. So yeah, like I told Scott, I just bought X-Enviro earlier. I'm not really sure if it's worth the premium, but we'll sit here and see if I don't hot start this plane. I've only flown this thing once since I bought it this morning, and the same with X-Enviro. I just got on here to check and see what it looked like, and then got off. So let's set this thing to idle. I hot started this thing earlier. The intake temperature went up to 1400 degrees Celsius. It wasn't pretty, but we'll try to go ahead and start it now. I actually need to have the fuel selector switch turned to one of them. Igniter's on. Okay, intake temperature's coming up. Good, it didn't hot start. Sweet. We can try to turn the igniter off. Standby alternator is on. Fuel auto select pusher's on. Autopilot trim pressure. Probably should have turned the beacon on before I started it, but we'll be okay. De-ice, I don't think we're going to need that. Go ahead and throw the condition lever all the way forward. We'll get rid of the check engine. Well, maybe not. And we're just going to fly. I really haven't planned flight. I just wanted to see how X-Enviro performed and how I could live stream with it. So, oh, and Wayne, you were thinking about getting the 7700K. I'd hold off on that until they figure out the overheating issue, because a lot of people that get a 7700K and overclock it are having temperature issues now. So, I'd hold off on the 7700K. Let's see. I'm going to do this when I get in the air, so I don't really care about taking off. I just want to see what this looks like and see how this performs. Oh, you put the new 77. You got a new 7700K? Oh, sweet. When you gonna start streaming with it? Goodbye, micro stutters. Yeah, I hear you, man. I really don't have that issue with micro stutters, and I have the 6700. Is this a short field or what? No. Like I said, this is the first time I've played X-Plane all week. I've been busy. Ultra busy.
Gear up.
So we have to gear up. I didn't even use flaps to take off. That's awesome. Oh, I hear you, man. I worked 43 hours in 4 days. So I worked 15 hours Tuesday. So and it's been hellaciously hot here, like up close to 30 Celsius. So tomorrow I'm cutting my grass. I cannot believe how good this is performing, though. We've got the frames up here, then I have the frames down here as well from Shadow Play. But even at pretty high settings, they're all right, man. The horse is all right. They're still there. They're still kicking. My ex-girlfriend is going up to Morven this weekend for. She's the vice president of eventing for the combined dressage. Commonwealth Dressage and Combined Training Association, which covers Northern Virginia for equestrian events and stuff like that. So she's going up there to do some eventing, which is dressage, show jumping, and cross country. So she's up there. My brother's taking care of her barn. So we were going to go over there tomorrow because she's a trainer. She trains horses and she trains riders. She's a riding instructor and she trains horses, so she doesn't really have a lot of time. So I think my brother and I are going to run over to her farm. She has a little 40-acre farmette, and run over there. And she's like 2 or 3 weeks behind on her cutting her grass and stuff like that. So we're going to go over there and cut her grass. She has a John Deere tractor with a bush hog and stuff like that. So, but anyways, so yeah, we just took off from Beaufort. North Carolina, and we're gonna probably head up the Outer Banks here. So we're gonna make a turn. We'll head out over the coast. For those of you who don't know about the Outer Banks is a little ribbon of. It's basically a huge sandbar that runs. X-Enviro is looking pretty good. I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth the premium price, but it's looking better. No, Wayne's from the south of England, man. You live in Brighton, don't you? Isn't that where you're from? City Slicker, yeah. I think Luna you live in Brighton, I think, don't you? Or is that Mo?
Approaching altitude.
I can't believe how smooth this is, man. This is actually pretty smooth. Oh, you lived in New York City for 14 months. How'd you like that? I hate that place. And I've only been to the south side. Wow, I love this E1000, man. I've always had this thing for turboprops. Like FSX and P3D, I had the TBM 850. I think is 850. Yeah, it's a TBM 850 from Coronado. So yeah, I love turboprops. Oh, you said it's the best set in the world. Evidently, you've never been to like Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm still, on hold about getting the Viper jet. I was thinking about getting that as well. I'm trying to close out my Aerobass collection, This is what I have. I had the Panthera. The Eclipse E1000. I think this is the 4th or 5th aero bash plane I have. X-Enviro is looking amazing, isn't it? And good frames too, you know. Decent for streaming, you know. 28, 29 frames, 30 frames. Depending on what I'm looking at here. So I'm still flying manually. I'm not using the autopilot at all. We've had a horrendous amount of rain today. We've had the rain meter at the farm. It's 3 inches of rain. So that's how much rain we've had today. It's like a torrential downpour. I tell you, I was driving. I took my kids to school this morning because it's a rain day. I didn't have to work. Well, didn't have to. I wasn't. There was no way I was going to work. I can't get my instrument wet, so. Well, I can. They don't like me to. But so yeah, I was coming home. I was coming back from taking my kids to school this morning, and you could barely see 200 meters down the road. I mean, that's how bad the rain was. You probably couldn't even see 100 meters down the road. Crazy. But I see it's still having some frame issues. Like right now, if you look at the CPU, you look at the frames, you don't really ever want to see your CPU get over 40, because then you'll start seeing your frame suffer. And you'll see, you look at the GPU, it's not even close to 40. It's like 30, having around 40, 70. And CPU's right around 43. It shouldn't be up that high. So still a lot of CPU optimization that's needed. A lot of that could be accounted for maybe from X-Enviro. Definitely from the complex avionics on the C1000. Do I get a lot of rain in the summer? No. We do not get any. We get very little rain in the summertime. It's mostly spring and fall. We get most of our rain. In June, June, July, August, you'll be praying for rain here. Alright, Luna, man, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Get some sleep. You need to hurry up and start straining with that 7700K, man. I have no clue where the hell I'm at. So, I'm somewhere over the eastern part of North Carolina. And the frames have settled back down again. So yeah, I don't really think that frame issue's an issue with X-Enviro. I think it's more just the fact that X-Plane still needs to be optimized. So I'm looking now. I'm trying to find. Well, I'm going to fly. I'm going to go ahead and set direct and fly direct to CamQI. I'm not going to land there. I'm going to set a waypoint there so we can just fly there. I can throw this thing on autopilot and not dive for the ground and kill us. Wow, we're at 22,000 feet. I didn't even realize that. A turboprop. This thing climbed up there pretty fast. So we're going to go ahead and turn our navigation system on. We're going to set the in-flight altitude. We're going to set at 22,000 feet. Enter. We will now go to nav. And there we go. I can't believe how quiet this thing is compared to like the Panthera, which is pretty loud. And the the 550 is really loud. Because you have those two jet engines on either side of your head. Let's take a look outside. So there's the Eclipse E1000. Now Epic makes this plane in real life. It used to be a kit plane that you could order directly from Epic, but now they've gone through certification, and now they're going to start producing this aircraft as in its entirety. Epic used to make the Victory. I have that also from Aerobask, but they went bankrupt before they could sell more than like a dozen of them. So I'm glad to see Epic get back into business, and maybe one day they'll start producing the Victory again. But yeah, I haven't gone through any of the preset settings on here, so let's go through some of these preset views. You can probably pull the prop RPM back. Let's pull the NG back too, because it's up there. You know, I've been asking myself that same question, Paranormal Gamer. Is it really worth that premium price? And I don't know, man. It depends on what the look that you're looking for. I mean, when I'm looking at it now, it's just like, is it really worth it? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it now because I've already bought it, but anyways, sorry about that. I had to mute myself while I was talking to somebody. But oh yeah, why don't we set our altitude hold, do we? But yeah, man, it depends on your taste, man. It might look good, like if you turn the 4K textures on. Yeah, it's only the cost of two planes. Yeah, so that's how I see it. I see it the same way, Scott. But I don't know. The thing is, once you pay for X-Enviro, you don't have to pay for it again. So that's pretty much the good part. You get that expense out the way. And you pay more for an add-on than you paid for the sim. So it's a huge investment. I haven't seen where it really does anything outstanding besides like doing the clouds or anything like that. Like I thought Reshade made a huge difference. Reshade made a huge difference in visuals, whereas I saw there's a huge difference for Reshade, whereas the difference for this is only seen in the clouds, and I'm not sure if that's worth that premium price. You know what I'm saying? What's your PC configs? PC configs is an Intel i7 6700. It's not overclocked. It's 16 gigs of DDR4 and a GTX 1070, Asus GTX 1070. So, but yeah, hey Ruben, how's it going? And I have Rex 4 for FSX and Prepare 3D, and I'm just well, it's not the K, so I really can't. I don't really think I can overclock it. And it's a ROG, so it's a really small. It's like their console version of their console PC, Asus's console PC, and even if I could overclock the base 6700, which I'm pretty sure I can't, I wouldn't do it with this case because the cooling just sucks. I'd want to water cool it and everything like that before I did that. But I might go ahead and just step up to the 7700K because it's the same socket. What bird are we flying today? Ruben, we are flying the Epic E1000. I just bought it today, as well as buying X-Enviro, so I spent $100 today on X-Plane, just add-ons, which is pretty common for me since I spent probably over $300 on stuff for P3D and FSX aircraft, that is. So, just our lowly little turboprop. Yeah, I wanted to get this out the way, man, because my next big investment is going to be the Oculus Rift, so I can use Fly Inside XP. So I did a test and everything to make sure my, the VR test to make sure my computer was fully compatible with the Rift and everything like that. It's well beyond that, so. I was thinking about getting a 4K monitor, but I'm just like, nah. I'm not really worried. I'm not huge into 4K, so. Nah, man, I've got to leave my house, man. I got to go to work. If I don't go to work, I can't buy new toys. My biggest thing is I have to get, I have a 3 Series BMW. I'm getting it ready so I can give it to my son, because he's fixing to get his driver's license. So, and he'll be able to drive to school in the fall. So I'll give him my 325, my BMW 325, and then I'm gonna look for something else. Yeah, we're about 7.7 nautical miles from Dare County Regional Airport, which is going to be right below us. Off to our right is the Atlantic Ocean. To our left is North Carolina. Yeah, I'm going to keep straining, man. You can count on that. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited because Luna got his i7 7700K and set it up today. Can't wait to see Luna streams now. He says the micro stuttering is gone. So, he said he's too tired to stream tonight, so he's going to stream tomorrow. So I guess I'll be waiting for him to stream tomorrow.
Approaching waypoint.
Approaching waypoint. So we're going to approach this. We're going to go ahead and go insert a waypoint. We're going to fly up to Takeoff, which is Norfolk. You really can't see anything because it's just overcasted right now. I can turn X-Enviro off, but I pretty much wanted to see how this is going to perform in the live stream. So it's going to take about 10 minutes to get from Norfolk to from Dare County to Norfolk. Yeah, I've been busy, man. I've been busy during the week. For my job, I cover all of Virginia from Richmond, which is the state capital, all the way north to into southern Maryland. So, it's hectic. Like, for instance, Wednesday, I thought it was going to be an early day, and I leave a job that's about 30 miles north of here. I'm coming back to my house, and then I get a call say, "Don't pack it in yet. We have something else for you to do." So this is like at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I get back to my house, and they send me an email, and I have to download the job and everything onto my data collector, and the job is 2 hours north, so I have to turn around and drive 2 hours north to do this job. So and then the traffic here just sucks. So I went 45 miles just Yesterday morning I drove 45 miles from here to Fairfax Courthouse, and it took me 2.5 hours. So that's how bad the traffic sucks. So, yeah, so now we're going to go up to Norfolk. Yeah, man, I'm all over Virginia, man. I'm all over anywhere from Richmond. Monday I was in Richmond. Tuesday I was in Ashburn, which is in Loudoun County, which is the northernmost county in Virginia. Wednesday I was back in Loudoun, but closer to West Virginia. I could actually throw a rock and hit West Virginia from there. So that's crazy, man. Do I have a favorite part of Virginia? Yeah, man. I love the little town of Sperryville, man. Sperryville is like the little ideal town. That or Mount Jackson, Virginia. Two great little towns. Mount Jackson's a little bit more picturesque because it's in the valley. Hey, Kravix, what's up, man? You got the FSX, man, on a name. What's up, man? When you gonna convert over the X-Plane? What requires you to travel so many places? Well, I used to be, I learned how to do web development when I was in the Army. And I spent 5 years doing that. And, you know, I started getting, you know, your typical American, eating a lot of food and not doing a whole lot and starting to gain weight. And I'm just like, I'm tired of sitting behind a computer all day long. I like going outside. Hey, Fast Thunderbolt. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining, dude. Yeah, man, but I got tired of sitting behind a computer all day long looking at lines of code. And I was just like, I wanted to get outside. I love being outside. And I went back for 3 years before I got mobilized to go to Iraq and shit like that. I was doing land surveying. So I went back to land surveying. So now I'm a survey crew party chief. And I cover all the surveying jobs from Richmond into southern Maryland. So it's awesome, man, because you never know where you're gonna be at the next day. You never know what you're gonna be doing. I'm in the mountains one day. I'm over on the river. I'm on the Potomac River. The next day, I'm down, you know, in our state capital. The next day, I'm up in Maryland, Charles County. Next day, so. Which plane is this? This is the Aerobask Epic E1000. It's their turboprop. So we'll take a look at it outside. Actually, let's go outside and take a look. So this is the turboprop, the Epic E1000. It's kind of like the TBM 850. So it's pretty much like that. Like the TBM 850. But it has the Dine and Sky View panels and stuff like that. And we are 7 minutes from Norfolk. And this is Ortho XP, or Ortho for XP scenery. You just can't really tell because all the scenery and the cloud cover and stuff like that. But that's Ortho down there. I promise. Yeah, I do see a lot of my state. My family's been in Virginia since 1635, so, and pretty much the history of my family is the history of Virginia. So, they landed in Jamestown 1635 and ended up out west in the mountains. Where you do any big hauls such as OMDB to KJFK, I usually don't fly on commercial airliners. I fly typically general aviation aircraft, and I'm still figuring out why I'm not at 22,000 feet. So let's hold on a second real quick. Let's go vertical speed 1500 negative, enter, and descend in vertical speed mode to 22,000 feet. I typically don't do long hauls. It depends. I don't really stream that long. Of course, then again, that is a lie. I have streamed for 5 hours one time. I think Scott was there for that. But I don't typically don't fly commercial airliners because I do ortho 4XP scenery, and I'm not going to waste 300 or 400 gigs of hard drive space just to fly at 40,000 feet and not see anything. So I like looking down and actually seeing stuff. So you like in Virginia? Yeah, I live in Virginia, yes. That was an epic stream. Hey, Rusty Mo, how's it going, man? Rusty Mo's on Twitch. Everybody say hi. He's probably the only person on Twitch. Everybody else is on YouTube. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with the SR-71. You can ask Scott, or you can ask
Approaching altitude.
Ruben about my love affair with the SR-71. My love-hate relationship. What part of Virginia do I live in? I live in close to Fredericksburg, Virginia. All the way from Dubai. Man, you way out there, man. What you doing in Dubai, man? You working? I hope you're making good money. Air Dubai is great, man. Air Dubai's got like the greatest concentration of supercars in the world, you know? It's like everybody drives like a Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. Oh, you're from Dubai. Oh. I think I watched that. What? Oh, you live in Roanoke. I did a job down there close to Roanoke. Went down there to like Troutville in Botetourt County. Did some work down there. Yeah, Lambos or taxis in Dubai. It's midnight. Where are you from, Thunderbolt? Oh, what time is it anyways? It's yeah, it's crazy. Dubai, all that oil money, man.
Fuel tank switched.
Oh, so this has the auto fuel select just like the Epic Victory does. Sweet. I never noticed that. So we're getting up here to Norfolk area. I'll go ahead and insert another waypoint. We're going to fly up to Stafford, which is close to where I live at. Enter. Yeah, you're right, because there are a lot of people from Europe vacation in Dubai, don't they? I totally forgot about their tourist industry. It's huge. So please help a noob here. I have my PC built, so what joystick to go for? Nah, it depends, man. Depends on if you prefer to fly with a flight stick or you prefer to fly with a yoke. I personally use a $50 controller here, so I've been using the flight stick that I have for 3 years now. So It only cost me $50, so it depends on what you want to get. I am upgrading mine though. I'm gonna soon. I'm gonna get a Cytec X52 Pro, and I might even get some rudder pedals, but I'm not sure.
Approaching waypoint.
You have a $30 controller, Ruben? Oh, force feedback too. Oh, that would be awesome, man. I wish my controller had the force feedback. I think all joysticks should come with force feedback. You know? Because you know you put your aircraft in a dive and you should get that, just that force feedback to keep you from pulling out, you know? Ruben's a poor student right now. I remember those days, man, going to university and being broke all the time. Yep. Remember it. I remember that. You know, if it wasn't so, if it didn't cost so much to send stuff to Europe, I'd send Ruben. I have another HOTAS X plane model. This plane model is the Epic E1000. It's a turboprop from Aerobask. Yeah, I have an extra Thrustmaster HOTAS X, which is what is the controller I'm using now. I'd send it to Ruben, man, if it didn't cost like $80 to send a package from the United States to Europe. That's just crazy. What is my favorite plane type? My favorite plane type would be a general aviation aircraft. Any general aviation aircraft. My favorite designer is Aerobask by far. I won't buy any aircraft for X-Plane that's not made by Aerobask. As far as, I mean, what would you take a look? Yeah, as you can see, these are the 3 stock commercial airliners that come with X-Plane. You won't see anything. You will never see me buy a commercial airliner. I have the Eclipse 550 NG from Aerobask. I have the Epic E1000, which I'm flying right now, from Aerobask. I have the Epic Victory from Aerobask. Yeah, it went offline for a second. I have the Epic Victory from Aerobask. I have the Panthera from Aerobask. So, yeah, I watched your video the other day, Ruben. It's pretty good. Pretty snazzy. Yeah, when you have kids, man, you gotta mute your mic every once in a while. Kids are noisy. Remember that. So evidently this is going to be a 22-minute flight from wherever I am to where I'm, from Norfolk to Stafford Regional. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and back off the throttle here a little bit, and then I'm going to descend to about 9,000 feet. So you can... There's nothing really spectacular about the scenery in Virginia at all. It's nothing like out west where Scott lives, where there's 14,000 foot mountain peaks and stuff like that. Nothing like that. So I said 9,000, didn't I? Oh, I'm not descending at 9,000 feet for it. Let's go 1,500 and descend. Enter. Go into autopilot here. Hit vertical speed mode. And we're going to send 1,500 feet per minute. But yeah, there's nothing really spectacular about Virginia, like I said. Yeah, once you get out of the city, Virginia's awesome. Once you're out of the cities. The problem is, I live on 395, which is basically one big city from Richmond all the way up to DC, so it sucks. And the traffic just sucks. I mean, just there is no infrastructure in Virginia. All the roads we have are in this area here, which is Hampton Roads, which is where the naval base is, and in the state capital, which is Richmond. Anywhere north of that, we have no roads. We have all the population, but we have no roads. So yeah, they didn't do a very good job planning for the growth. You make Virginia sound like Africa. Nah, it's not like Africa, man. It's an amazing state. It's just I mean, I've lived in Jersey and stuff like that, and I lived in Oklahoma, and I was in the Army, and just have no desire to live in any other state but Virginia. So. You see how the clouds just look a little weird with X-Enviro? Don't you think? I mean, if you look at the individual clouds, don't they look a little weird? Or is it just me? What is my settings, anyways? So if I go into X-Enviro and go to settings, so I have in real mode, I have this set for maximum. I turned post processing and light scattering off, and this I have set for max. Well, this is really sound, so it really doesn't matter. So if I turn post-processing on, this is what I get, which is kind of weird looking because it has a bluish color, and it's just I don't understand why you have a blue color inside your cockpit. So and then light scattering, I really don't see anything for that. So. Yeah, they look. Hey, Rusty, man, thanks a lot, dude. Thanks for watching, man. I'll see you next time. Yeah, they do, don't they, Ruben? They look like something out of a Van Gogh painting, don't they? Actually, I think Van Gogh probably did a better job on his clouds. Hey, Jose, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it is a pretty nice game. So yeah, we're just going to descend here, 9,000 feet. I'm hoping that'll put us below the cloud layer here. Probably not. It's not raining here. Well, I'm looking outside right now. It's not raining. So like I said, we had 3.5 inches of rain today. The only thing I get from McDonald's is like their sweet tea. They have a sweet iced tea. So I stopped on the way back from taking my kids to school this morning. I stopped by there to get a sweet tea. And I told her I wanted a large sweet tea in a canoe because it was just raining so hard. And then Van Gogh is more default X-Plane, X-Enviro is Rembrandt. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Tell about your experiences in the Army. Wow, you want those stories, huh? You want the Army stories, the war stories. All that crazy crap. I won't talk about what I did in Iraq because I don't like talking about it. But after I got back, I trained soldiers going to Iraq and Afghanistan. So that's what I did. And before that, I was in the Old Guard, which is the 3rd U.S. Infantry, which is the official escort to the President. The Army's official escort to the President. It's a ceremonial unit. I spent 5 years in that. and then I spent 15 months in Iraq. Got back and did 5 years training soldiers going to Iraq and Afghanistan. So we worked with a lot of foreign nationals who came here to help us train our soldiers in Islamic customs, because that was a huge people don't realize it's a huge culture shock for Americans to deal with Muslims. I was in the regular army when 9/11 happened. I was actually at Fort Myer in Virginia when the plane hit the Pentagon, and that night, I mean, we were at there's an Arab restaurant in Alexandria, and they were it's an Arabic restaurant, and we just go there. I'd never felt in Virginia, even after 9/11, I never felt any kind of hatred towards Muslims. We have them here in Northern Virginia, and this is where I live at. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that it's it's pretty multicultural. I am. We have Asians, we have Muslims, we have blacks, we have everything. There's a lot of places in the United States that don't have that. Like you get up in the Vermont and Maine and stuff like that, and the only time they see any other face that's not white faces, they see it on TV. And it's places like Michigan and Wyoming and stuff like that. You know, were they from UAE? No, they were from Iraq. So they were actually Iraqi nationals who had been brought over. Mostly had seeking asylum, and then they worked for us. Kind of like our Terps, the interpreters. They did the same thing. So one of the neat things I got to do is I got to run the op force at Fort Dix on the train lanes. And because we couldn't let the foreign nationals operate weapons, because they're not Army personnel, they were civilians, so they couldn't operate weapons, but we could. So I had a squad, and all we did was attack U.S. troops going through the train lanes. That's what we did. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I learned a lot about Islam and Muslim, and it's just, you know, for us as Americans, and a lot, you know, American is probably 80% Christian, as we don't understand the divide between Shia and Sunni, when it's something that we really can't fathom, you know. As Americans, I think we're really ignorant of other cultures. You know, we're pretty much, you know, we're Americans, you know. But that's a pretty liberal thing to say, and I'm not liberal at all. So I'm like a middle of the road kind of guy, you know. But yeah, it's the American attitude, I guess. That's why people hate Americans for, I guess. I know I'd have more viewers if I was like Luna and Mo and had a really cool British accent. Holland is 40% Christian. I had somebody on one of my streams one time ask me what I thought of Trump. You know, I told him like I told, you know, people ask me, you know, what do you think about Obama? You know, people that aren't from the United States, what do you think about Obama? What do you think about Trump? I don't care, man. Obama never did anything to me. Trump hasn't done anything to me. The president really doesn't. I don't really care, because all I do is I'll go to work, I come home, I play games. My kids, you know, they're in their teens. My daughter's graduating this year. She'll be off to university after she gets back from Britain. You know, my son will be the only one that's home all the time. So, and he doesn't make a fuss. He's in his room right now playing. I don't know, he's probably in there playing Counter-Strike or something on his PC. I'm a teen. We've all been there, man. Don't feel bad. We need to go ahead and descend. I put 5,000 as an altitude, and I forgot to hit negative vertical speed and hit enter. And then set that vertical speed. I think as you get closer to these clouds, man, they look a lot better in X-Enviro. The closer you are to them, the better they look. That's just my opinion. You know, that's true. I mean, they say Americans are dumb all the time. And I agree with most of it. I don't like most Americans either. But there's a lot of ignorance, man. Like, until I watched the video, until you watch videos of other people that come to the United States, like I watched this video of this German guy who came to the United States, and he said everything's so different between Europe and America. Like you guys, a full course meal in Europe would be like a kid's meal to the average American. So they're always like, oh, Americans are all fat. Well, it's because y'all don't eat as much as we do. It's just weird. I don't know if it's our culture or what, but he said, yeah, the average Americans, the average American meal compared to a European meal is like a European meal would be a kid size to an American meal. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you guys don't. You guys use cash a lot more than we do. Like I can go to I can go to the store right now and just pay $2 for a drink and pay for it with a debit card. Well, they look like credit cards, but I'm sure y'all guys know what debit cards are. But I can go pay for something like $2 with a debit card because I don't carry cash.
Approaching altitude.
I very rarely ever carry cash at all. So the weather here is a lot different. Everybody here, at least in Virginia, everybody here has air conditioners. And I don't even own a credit card. I've never owned a credit card at all. I refuse to get one. Do I use Track IR? No. I was going to get Track IR, then I'm like, I saw Fly Inside XP, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold off on getting the Track IR and just get the Oculus Rift and use that with Fly Inside XP. So we're going to go ahead and land at Stafford Regional, which is about 15 miles from me. So I'm going to we're just putting up the dine-in here. We are going to insert an arrival. We are going to arrive on the ILS 33. Hello from France. Well, hello. Simulateur d'aviation, I guess. I have a buddy of mine, he's moving to Belgium. His wife just got a job at a NATO air base. And he has to learn French. So he has to learn French. So I told him, good luck. I took German because German for English speakers is a lot easier to learn, methinks. Okay, so this has the same bug that every other thing has. We need to fly. We're flying direct to BRV. We shouldn't be doing that, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it do it. It should have flown. Actually, no, we can't do that. We need to go direct to BRV. So, direct to this waypoint. There we go. Aircraft direct to. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to get the Oculus Rift because, yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's expensive, I have to admit. And I'll probably get airsick or some kind of sickness from it. Yeah, it is cheaper than the Vive. And the Vive is awesome, man. If you do a lot of, like, I don't know why my computer's just stuttering, but it's the CPU's getting wrecked by X-Enviro, I guess. But, yeah, the Vive's cool for stuff like Onward. But, stuff that's really virtual reality intensive, like actual virtual reality, where you're actually standing up and you're ducking down and, using all that head tracking software and the body tracking stuff, and you're using the little hand controllers and stuff like that. Then yeah, the Vive is awesome for that stuff. But for what I want to do, the Oculus Rift would be fine, I think. So right now we're flying direct to the Brook. Yep, low frame rate because we're in the clouds, and it's probably doing it's going to settle back down now. It's probably doing the weather update, so it's really weird. I can show you this, and this is going to be like, you remember that movie Inception? You remember that? Check this out. So if you look at OBS, oh, I didn't want to do that. So if you're looking at OBS, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it's pulling like 15% of my CPU. That's another reason that we get low frames. If you look down here, 15% of my CPU is being used by OBS. So, yep, get sick. I was thinking about getting XSplit, man. I don't know how much better XSplit would perform than OBS. Oh, there we go. So the weather just changed. So I've only taken this aircraft off and never really landed it. So this is going to be a first for me. But this will be an ILS landing, so we need to go ahead and set the radios and the navcom. So you say XSplit sucks. Stick with OBS. I'll do that then. So we're going to turn ILS nav 1 active. We're going to turn OBS to OBS 1. We're done with that. We can already tune AWAS.
Stafford regional weather. Wind 240 at 38.
29.
Visibility more than 10.
38.
Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point -17. Altimeter 2938.
How is X-Enviro on the frames in general? Nah.
Stafford regional weather.
It depends, man. I'm getting anywhere. When I first started the stream, I was getting around 30 frames a second.
Sky clear. Temperature
Hey Mo, how's it going, man?
-17.
You just missed Luna. Luna was on here. He got an i7 7700K. He just got finished installing it. But he was crushed. He's going to sleep.
Stafford regional weather.
Flipped it, didn't I?
Wind 240 at 38. Visibility more than 10.
So yeah, we're going to do this little ILS landing here at Stafford. And then we'll go somewhere else. Evening second account of Mo. What? Was it? Is it Mo? Oh, it is Mo's other account. Yeah. I didn't catch that. So another thing about X-Plane, when you catch the ATIS,
Stafford regional weather.
that wind is wrong.
240
That wind is for the altitude that I'm at right
north
now,
10.
Approaching
Sky
waypoint.
clear.
which kind of irritates the hell out of me.
Temperature
I'd rather know the weather
-1
at the airport, the wind conditions at the
Altimeter
airport.
2938.
That's another bug in X-Plane I think they should get rid of. So yeah, we're gonna make this turn. We need to be out 3,000 feet now. We're approaching VR Brook. Enter 2,000 negative. Enter and vertical speed. Finally get to see a live stream. Well, yeah, I just got X-Enviro this morning, Mo. After watching your stream the other day, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get. Let's go ahead and get X-Enviro. And it's all right, man. It's pretty good. Not sure it's worth $70. I'm not sure it's $70 good. It's good. I haven't used Rex 4 and stuff like that on FSX and compared to 3. Yeah, I'm impressed. They need to do a better job with this water, though. I still don't like the X-Plane water. Hey, thanks for subbing, Thunderbolt. So we need to go ahead and slow down here. We can go ahead and deploy the landing gear, though.
Gear down.
We're still a little fast for the flaps. This is Maryland here, in the state of Maryland. How am I finding X-Enviro? It's eh. Sometimes it gets great frames, and sometimes it just gets horrible frames, you know? But I don't know if that's has anything to do with X-Enviro as much as it has to do with X-Plane itself, you know? It's a little heavy on the frames, but honestly, I think even the default clouds are a little heavy on the frames. There's where I'm landing at, so I don't know why it's taking me back this way. So I'm just go ahead and disengage the autopilot, and we'll just go in without ILS. Well, we'll use the ILS, but we will
Autopilot disconnect.
go ahead and just land this thing manually. So let's switch over to Localizer 1, which has our ILS information on it already, thanks to the power of the Dian Skyview. And we will land over here. And I kind of see the beacon a little. Now I've kind of lost it. Let's see if what happens when I disable X-Enviro. So we're at 25 frames now. If I turn it off, I gain about 3 frames. So it is going to help me find my airport, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and turn it back on. Well, that's crazy. Okay, so we're way high. We need to be a lot lower. Well, not lower, lower. We're on the glide slope. And I do have gear down. We need flaps down. Flaps down. And I can see the beacon for Stafford. I think I'm going to take this to Courchevel next, and we'll fly out there because I want to see how X-Enviro looks at Courchevel. Just a short flight around there, and we'll probably end up calling it an evening. The only thing I do regret is that I don't have the X52. I think Mo, you have the X52, right? Yeah, Mo has the X52, so I think if he pulls his back far enough, he'll go into beta, which is what I have. What I'm, it'll put this turboprop into reverse, and you can stop a lot faster. But my throttle is not set up to do that, so I'm gonna have to use it without beta. But that's fine. I have 5,000 feet of runway, but I need to find some kind of button configuration where I can initialize the beta. Like in the Coronado PC12, I had the reverser set to one of my buttons. I hit the reverser, and then I could throttle up, and it would actually reverse my aircraft. So you can't beat Courchevel, man, for scenery. You cannot beat that area at all. It has the most amazing scenery. Ortho scenery, that is. And you know what? This is not KRMN. This is not Stafford Regional Airport. This is the wrong airport. This is Fredericksburg. This is actually the city that I live in. This is their airport. It's a smaller runway. I probably could use reversing the prop here, but we'll go ahead and land anyways. For 13 knot, we have a 12 knot crosswind.
500.
So let's see how we're going to do here. I didn't look at any of the paperwork for this aircraft, so I do not know
400.
the landing speeds for this thing. So we'll just wing it and hope we can stop before we hit the end of the runway. So this is Shannon Airport. Everything you see behind it is part of the Fredericksburg National Battlefield Park. Fredericksburg was the scene of 2 battles during the Civil War. The first and second battles of Fredericksburg. The first one was a complete rout of the Union Army after they destroyed most of the city. And
200.
so yeah, just give me a second while I concentrate on landing this turboprop within this short runway, because I think it's only a 2,500 foot runway, and I have no beta.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And we're landing in a crosswind, so sweet. I think I'm gonna be able to stop before I hit the train. Yeah, you better start thinking about that giveaway, Mo. People are going to get mad. They're going to get irate.
Check it.
So usually when you go to idle on the throttle, it's going to give you that check engine warning. So, whoa, don't get crazy on me now. It was such a beautiful landing. We'll go back and take a look, because it would look like I was crabbing that landing. I want to check and see if I was doing that. So let's go back and look. Toggle replay mode. Let's go back. Look at that landing. Okay. Let's watch this landing here. So this is the Rappahannock River. So yeah, let's watch this landing. You see, you get the left wheel down first, and you press the rest of them down. Ah, not bad. Okay, so we're down. We're gonna go to change location. We're gonna go to Courchevel. It's nighttime in France, I'm pretty sure, as it is for most of Europe. So we're gonna have to change it to daytime. So we'll go to day. We'll do morning, and we'll take the Panthera. I always like taking the Panthera in Courchevel. So let's go. Starting flight. Now, what I'm interested in is Hey, Thunderbolt, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for watching, dude. Have a great evening. What I'm interested in now is doing X-Enviro with Reshade and seeing how that looks. I might try doing that and seeing how that looks. And my cell phone is dead, so I'm hoping nobody's trying to call me, especially my boss, because he gets a little testy. Now, I think I didn't tell y'all, but the best part about my job is I work out of my house. I don't have to go into an office. I don't do anything. I just work out of my house. So I get my jobs in the morning, and then I go out and do my jobs, and I come home. So that's the perk. And I work by myself. So now I work by myself. So it's awesome. So let's wait until it takes forever to load the Panthera, which it always does. We'll take off at Courchevel. Oh, I forgot to. I hope we're starting in the helipad. So it's the only thing I hope. My office is the great outdoors, man. You can't get better than that. I have a company truck and everything like that. And oh, it was funny. It was a funny story yesterday. I have to go out. Yesterday, I had to go out and they're redoing an off ramp on a highway. And the state has a contractor doing the job. And I came out. I came out Wednesday and staked out the road, the off ramp. And he comes up to me yesterday. He's like, "Oh, you gave us the wrong offsets. You gave us the wrong offsets. There's a sidewalk here. There's a sidewalk here." And I'm like, "Dude, it's this little short, little 5-foot Indian dude, you know? I mean, not American Indian, but Indian. He's like, your offsets, they're wrong. There's supposed to be a sidewalk here. There's supposed to be a sidewalk here." And I'm like, this is exactly what I said to him. I'm like, dude, your sidewalk doesn't go past this station right here, man. And the VDOT guy, he looks at. I gave him my site plans for the road. He looked at the site plans and he told that little guy, he's right. That little guy was so mad. My job has perks. I get to make people mad. I get to make engineers mad. That's awesome. So, people with 5-year degrees and stuff like that, 6-year degrees, and I get to make them look bad. So, I have a 4-year degree, but I did web design for such a long time, and I got bored with it. I get bored with things easy. So, and surveying's really the only thing I never got bored with. So I'm glad to be back doing it again. It's fun. The only bad thing about surveying is the freaking heat in Virginia, which is horrible. When the bugs, because you got ticks, and ticks carry Lyme disease and stuff like that, and it just sucks. The snakes, because we have two venomous snakes here. We have the copperhead, which really isn't that venomous, and when you get into the mountains, we have timber rattlesnakes, which are venomous, very venomous. And it's not even in those. I can deal with the snakes. I can deal with the ticks. What I can't deal with is the bees. And we have a bee in Virginia. Well, most of the United States, it's called a yellow jacket, and they live in the ground. And sounds more like Australia. No, Australia has a lot more dangerous insects than we do. Not more dangerous snakes. Okay, so let's get this thing started. Anyways, we have yellow jackets, and they will chase you. So I've been chased by yellow jackets and stung 6 times by 6 different yellow jackets. So sucks. Oops. Continue. Fuel selector is on the left. Let's get that back down. Fuel mixture is a lean mixture full rich. And we're all ready to go. We can start up. Oh, no, we need to remove our flags and chocks. We need to close our doors. Now we can start the aircraft. So yeah, I read that article that Ben wrote that you posted on the Facebook page, Mo. So I wish you'd just give up OpenGL altogether and just go straight in headlong into Vulkan. That's what they need to do. OpenGL, I think, has outlived its usefulness. That's just my opinion. And Ben was laughing too, because I think when Vulkan first came out, he got like this 700-page API reference book for Vulkan, so you could just like you can dive headlong into Vulkan. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so let's make sure not to slap that tail on the ground. And we're off. So we can raise the gear, we can raise the flaps, and we're gonna fly. We're gonna go fly and land on this little grass runway in this valley. That's what we're gonna do. And I have to remember which one it is. I think it's Lima Fox Kilo Delta, which is right over here to the north, south actually. You know, I don't mind the snakes, man, because the rednecks here, man, they run them over. They run them over and kill them. I'm like, dude, why are you killing a snake, man? The snake kept the rodents down. The mice and stuff like that. We have black snakes here, too. They kill the venomous snakes. So now, without any... We have X-Enviro on. There's no clouds, and we're getting... 33 frames per second. So I'm kind of want to shut X-Plane down and load Restream in and see what it would look like with Restream, X-Enviro, and Courchevel. That's what I'm about to do, but I might wait and do that for another stream. I'm really interested in see what this was like with Restream and X-Enviro. You need GTX 1080 and SLI. I would have to get a new case, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to... I have the ROG, which is a little console Asus gaming PC. I'm gonna get a new case. It's gonna have the Asus Prime X270 or what it is, and that way I have room to expand. Right now, I have to do so much. I have to pull my graphics card out and almost pull my CPU out in order to put my SSD in here in this computer, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna get a different motherboard and get a different case, probably the Define. I'm still waiting for Mo to get his GTX 1080 Ti, so he'll send me his GTX 1080. That's what I'm waiting on. And then I can send Ruben my GTX 1070. Or send it to Scott. One of the two. And look at them snow. Look at the snow. I still think it looks better with Restream. Not Restream, Reshade. We'll just do hand-me-downs. Mo can get his TI. He can hand me down his 1080. I can give Ruben my 1070. And it all works out, Everybody wins. It's a win-win situation. So this little LFKD airport is down here in this little valley. It's a grass strip. I'm going to land on it. There it is right there. So what's our airspeed? 112. We can go ahead and lower our flaps. We can lower our gear. And it's probably going to be an ultra steep descent down to this grass strip. So, because there it is. And I think I may land there. You would need a new case too. Yeah. Yeah, because you probably can't put two 1080s in the case that you have now. Yeah, so I'm gonna land at this grass strip, might shut X-Plane down, enable Restream through JSGME, and restart X-Plane, and then try this again and Restream using X-Enviro and see Restream, X-Enviro, Ortho4XP and see how it looks. We'll do the ultimate stress test on this computer and use Restream as well. Because I'm not really impressed with the post-processing that X-Enviro provides. I think it looks like crap. So the only thing that's cool about X-Enviro is the clouds. Everything else I think is just crap. Because you turn processing on, everything's blue. So if I go in here and I turn X-Enviro, well, go to the settings and turn post-processing on, look, that does not look good at all. That's just, ugh. I think Reshade provides a lot better post-processing effects. Just go down here and land on this little grass strip. So I have my gear down, so this will not be a belly landing in the Panthera, as so many of my landings in this thing have been, for one reason or the other. We have flaps down to position 1, we're in a steep descent for this little grass strip. There are power lines, so let's go. We're going to fly to the side of the power lines, and we'll make a sharp right turn, then into a sharp left-hand turn onto the grass strip. We need to go ahead and watch our airspeed, because we can't really get below 75 knots here. You'll see, Mo. You'll see when I switch Restream on. I mean, not Restream. I'm using Restream to stream. When I switch Reshade on, you'll see. So I didn't want to get tangled up in these wires. I don't know if these wires will actually kill you. I've never flown into a set of power lines in X-Plane. So I'm not quite sure. They'll kill you on Armor 3, I can tell you that much. I flew a little bird into them the other day on when I was playing Exile. Let's let that last notch of flaps. I did not hit the landing gear switch, so I'm good. That's a little bit of a sink there.
Approaching altitude.
So let's hit this little grass strip. And we'll shut X-Plane down real quick and re-engage, and use X-Plane, Restream. I tell you, man, there's no easier aircraft in X-Plane to fly than the Aerobask Pipistrel Panthera. It is the best all-around general aviation aircraft, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree. There's my little Pipistrel Panthera. There he is. So, let's go ahead and kill X-Plane real quick. We're going to quit. We are going to go into, if none of you have seen how this works, we are going to go into, let's drag it over here. So this is JSGME. I have this set up for X-Plane 11, so I'm going to open that. You see my little Project Reality Battlefield 2 there. I have Reshade, so we're going to load that into X-Plane 11, and there it goes. We can now close this, and we can now restart X-Plane 11. And as you can see, it added the colorfulness. It added, if we go into shaders, actually, it should have Reshade shaders. It added that, and it added that all for me, and I didn't have to do it myself. So, so we can start X-Plane back up now using Reshade. And it's going to take extra time. It's going to take about 40 seconds. And when I go to make the screen maximum size, it'll take another 40 seconds to load. So it's now initializing and all that good stuff. Actually, it's not going to make a difference right now because I haven't loaded Reshade yet. And I'll show you how to do that. The only bad thing about doing it this way is you have... I shouldn't have done that. Is you have to load... Look, there's the GNS 430 files I sent you, Mo. Reshade, it's actually different. I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to hit Shift F2 and go in here. I'm going to set this up now and let it load so we don't have to do it later. So let's go into... We need to go into settings. So we need to go in here to settings. And we need to have these point to X-Plane. So these are assuming that my X-Plane is installed on an E drive, which it's not. So we're going to go into, we need our shaders first. So we go into shaders here, click this, right click, copy, go in here, double click. I'm going to highlight this and Control V and paste. That's that. Next we'll go into our textures and we will grab the path, which is here, copy, get rid of this and Control V and paste, and we're good for that. I want to toggle these effects with the pause break key, so I'm going to press this and pause. And that's good for that. We're going to start off with colorfulness, which is what I like the most. So we need to make sure we're in the C drive and using colorfulness, and there we go. And we are done. Now we can maximize it, and it just loaded the effects. And it's gonna load up the screen now. There we go. And you already see the colors are a little bit more vibrant. We're going to stay at Courchevel. Let's go back to Courchevel. And it's clear. We have the Panthera. We'll actually take the... Let's see now. What I want to take. Let's take... Well, the Cessna won't take so long to load. Nah, let's take the Panthera. Well, no, let's take the Cessna because it takes a long time for the Panthera to load. So let's start with the Cessna. I keep meaning, it's DirectX based, not OpenGL. I keep it actually. If you look at the source code for Reshade, it uses library. It has a build for OpenGL, and a build for DirectX, and a build for Vulkan, I believe. And if somebody could go in, I thought about doing it a couple times. Go in and actually strip out the DirectX build and the Vulkan build, and have it just build a straight OpenGL version without DirectX libraries, without the Vulkan libraries or anything like that, just pure OpenGL. It would probably work, but I don't know enough C++, so that's why I haven't done it. But if you could get a straight OpenGL build of Reshade, it would probably work fine. So I've not flown the Cessna in like forever. Well, no, that's a lie, because I flew it to land those aircraft carriers in that one stream. And it's done with preloading. So let's see how this runs now. So we're at 45 frames a second because we're using base aircraft, and if we go up, up, and away out of the aircraft and look, this is with Reshade on. This is how it looks with Reshade. This is how it looks without Reshade. So you can instantly tell a difference in the actual scenery. So turn Reshade back on. Here's Reshade back on. And Reshade off, Reshade on, Reshade off, Reshade on. So yeah, looks a hell of a lot better with Reshade. So now we're using Reshade, Ortho4XP, and X-Enviro. So let's go ahead and start our little Cessna. Turn master switches on. Mixture needs to be full rich. Fuel selector switch is set to both. Fuel pump coming on, beacon on. Fuel pump on until we see fuel flow. We have fuel flow. We can reduce the throttle to nil. Turn the fuel pump off. Quarter throttle and start the aircraft. She's good to go. We can turn our strobe on. We'll need that. We'll turn our nav lights on. We'll go ahead and turn our avionics on. Go ahead, we're really not worried about it. We can go ahead and set our transponder to altitude. So let's go ahead and take off and see how the Cessna does up here. Oh, might help if I take the parking brake off. A little nudge. So we're not going to take off, and we're going to do the same thing, except for we're going to use the Cessna, and we're going to use Reshade. So it's the exact same flight that we did before. I'm not going to use flaps, because why? It's a Cessna. It'll take off at 55 knots, 45 in the right conditions. So there's 55 knots, so we can come down. So we're up. And we're going to go ahead and turn and do the exact same flight, just not as fast. Hey, Ruin, man, thanks for watching, man. Yeah, it's getting pretty late for you guys in Europe. I try to do these, I got, since a lot of people watch it from Europe and from the United States, it's kind of hard scheduling when I'm going to do this. But yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that's watching this from Europe. Down there's the little town of Courchevel. We'll set up a little higher in the cockpit. Take a look outside, and Just look what Restream does for the actual. I mean, not Restream, but Reshade does. You turn it off and it's dull. Turn it on, it's shiny. Everything's beautiful. So we'll make this turn as we continue to gain altitude in the Cessna. And you just look, what you see there, that's this grittiness that's in these textures, that's what the complex masks add for your orthos. And you can see it even more if you look at these. You want those complex masks especially when you're creating. It's not so important when it's really flat ground, but when you're flying in the mountains, that complex mask really brings the detail out in these mountains. So if we take it and go back out and then we just look. Oops, hit my mic. Yeah, it looks so much better with Reshade. Ugh, I keep saying Restream. Too many re's. Hey Mo, thanks man. Yeah, it gets late for you guys. So if I stream at 3, people in the United States aren't off work yet, so I have to balance. But yeah, man, thanks for watching. So we're going to continue this flight in the French Alps. Hopefully the little Cessna can climb up over these mountains. Hello, Flight and Fun. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. You're actually catching the tail end of it. We're just enabled Reshade and seeing how it works with X-Enviro and Ortho 4XP. And we're in the French Alps. We're fixing to go land a little glass strip in this valley. So the Cessna does not have the climb rate that the Panthera does, so I'm going to fly in this direction and probably land in the opposite direction in the valley, because we're not going to have enough rate of climb to get over the mountains right now. Hey, thanks, Flight. I try to stream the best, at least the best scenery I can, which just happens to be the Alps right now. For those of you who are watching, if you don't know who Mo Nasser is, that's his alter ego. He is Mo Media, another streamer, X-Plane streamer, like myself. And if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, Luna was also here from Luna's World. Wayne, another streamer, X-Plane. I'm actually surprised that Ranger79 is not in here as well. He's another streamer, X-Plane streamer. So we all 4 of us try to support each other, and we're a pretty tight group. Like Ranger's a moderator for my streams. I'm a moderator for Mo's streams. It's like one big happy family. So So we need to get over these mountains in this little Cessna. It's like the little engine that could, you know. I think I can. I think I can. So. It's been a while since I've flown an aircraft with the old steam gauges, you know. All the Aerobas aircraft have the Dynon Skyview panels. So I do use those a lot. I'm still thinking about getting the Viper jet, which is another Aerobas aircraft. It's kind of like an F5 Tiger or an L39, one of the two, whichever one you think it is. You look at the details in this rock face that's provided by the complex masks in 034XP. And the level of detail in the rock face, that's all complex mask. And we will fly down into this valley, spin around, and land this grass strip, and that will be the end of the stream. Like I said, I was just using this to test X-Enviro out, and there's really no weather here. This is the actual real-world weather conditions in France right now. Of course, the time is different. So, but now the thing is, we have to find that little airport. So. Let's range out, and there it is down to our left, and we need to go ahead and we are going to descend in this little valley here. We're going to fly right over this little glacial lake, or a series of glacial lakes. Try not to pick up a lot of speed. We could probably deploy our flaps to slow us down, but I've always heard never use your flaps as speed brakes, so we will try not to do that. We will just do a series of rudder and that doesn't really work either, does it? Yeah, I guess it does. You'll keep the yaws to kind of slow us down. Try to keep our airspeed low as we descend here. Our little grass strip is off to our left. That's where we landed earlier. For those of you wondering, this is zoom level 17 for this area. Actually, I'll only use zoom level 17. And these are the Bing map overlay. So those of you who have never used Ortho4XP or are interested in using it, it's the only thing I use. I've had people tell me that ArcGIS is good in Europe. I've had them tell me I've used it and it's okay, but I find that Bing works best in Europe, and not so. It's meh in Europe and United States. It's hit or miss. So we're gonna make a slow left-hand descending turn here as we come in and land on this little grass strip. This side does not have the power lines, so those will no longer be a factor. We're trying to keep our airspeed below 120 as we descend. I do have the rudders full right. I'm trying to keep my airspeed down. And now they're full left, and I'm going to try to make this turn. I'm trying to keep my airspeed down, so I'm descending, and actually my airspeed's going down, which is really what I want. I don't want a very high airspeed, as I have to bleed that speed off when I land. Where am I from? I am from Northern Virginia in the United States. I live about 45 miles south of Washington, D.C. So I did not really realize this airfield was on this little knoll up here. So we descended a little too much. It's okay, we can go full power. Get back up there. And I'm as far up as I can sit in the cockpit. I always like the stock setting for this aircraft is right here, and I love sitting. I have to sit higher up in that cockpit. I just can't see. So and it looks like we're kind of missing an airfield. I don't really see it. But it's down here somewhere. Looking for a little grass strip. It's going to be in this valley to our left. And there's a little grass strip. Go ahead and get back in the cockpit. We will sit up so we can see, and we will... I'll go ahead and put a notch of flaps in. That's our little grass strip. That's our destination. And for those of you just joining, we're doing this with Reshade. We've been flying with X-Enviro the whole entire stream. I shut it down and activated Restream, and then flew in Courchevel again, and then just to see the difference. So stock. This is stock X-Plane with X-Enviro and Ortho 4XB, and this is X-Plane with Reshade, Ortho 4XB, and X-Enviro, and there's a world of difference in the way it looks. The only bad thing is that it will lock up. Like, you have to end the process. You have to end X-Plane's process to actually get this thing to cut off. And I'm probably going to go around since I'm going way too fast, but maybe we can make the landing. There's a grass strip. We are in a Cessna anyways. We'll just go ahead and extend that second notch of flaps. Give it a little bit of flare, let it float a little bit. We'll be alright. There we go, we're down. And we are down. So that's going to be it for this stream. We flew in Virginia, a little bit X-Enviro in the clouds. I'll have to do a little bit further testing with it with just the stock general aviation aircraft. It really wasn't... using the E1000 and its complex avionics, and then using X-Enviro, we were getting anywhere between 24 and 30 frames a second, depending on how many clouds were in the area. I'm pretty sure that it's probably going to be 30 to 35 frames, maybe even higher, with the base GA aircraft that are available with X-Plane. So I'll have to do more testing. Actually, my stream tomorrow will probably be with the GA aircraft and X-Enviro and Reshade, just to see how well these stock GA aircraft For those of you who don't know, anything that has complex avionics in X-Plane really taxes the CPU. And X-Plane 11, until X-Plane 11 switches from OpenGL, which is horribly optimized with the way it renders graphics and its reliance on drivers to do that job instead of the software. Vulkan, until they go over the Vulkan, I feel that we're going to have these. We're always going to have these issues with the insane amount of CPU usage. Because I have a GTX 1070, and this doesn't even hardly. I mean, if you go out here and look, if you look at the usage between the GPU and the CPU, it's using far more CPU than it is GPU, and it's always been like that. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will be streaming again tomorrow. Probably, what time is it now? It's 7 o'clock here in the United States, p.m. I'll probably be streaming around 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, which would be 7 p.m. 7 p.m. in the UK. So if you'd like to return tomorrow for the stream, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching.